Well, hello everybody. We're going to talk about the final review here. And so what I've got here is some definitions we're going to start with. We're going to go through and do this. The definition of supplementary are two angles that add up to be 180. And remember that the way this works is you can have two angles that are next to each other that add up to be 180, or you could have a linear pair that also adds up to 180. All those guys are supplementary. Complementary are two angles that add to be 90. So you can have two angles next to each other. You can have two angles that make a 90-degree angle, or you could have two angles that just have a total of 90 degrees. Collinear points are points on the same line. And coplanar points are points on the same plane. All right, and so then they're asking us what symbols do we use for each one of these? Well, perpendicular makes a little right angle, so it's an upside down T. There's our little right angles in there. Parallel are two vertical lines. Congruent looks like that. And similarity is without the equal sign, and it's that symbol. All right, and so then for 3 here, it says name a pair of alternate interior angles. Are the angles congruent or supplementary? Alternate interior angles would be angle C and angle F. And angle F, those are a pair of alternate interiors. And angle E and D. And angle D. And these guys are congruent. All right. The next question is asking for a pair of adjacent angles, and are they congruent or supplementary? There's a ton of them in here, so I'm only going to go with a couple of them here. Angle E and angle G. And say something like E and F. I mean, those are just two examples. There's a whole bunch of them. You can pick whichever one you want, and these guys are supplementary. They add up to be 180 there. They make a straight line. Corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are in the same relative position. So, and there's a bunch of these guys too. Angle A and angle E are an example. And angle D and angle H are an example. And these guys are related by, they are congruent to one another. Vertical angles. Vertical angles are the ones that make the X. So there's a bunch of these guys as well. I'm going to go over here because I don't have any room over there. So angle, we'll go with angle A and angle D are vertical angles. We could say angle G and angle H, or F, angle F as well. And these guys are congruent to one another. These are all terms that we're going to need. And then a pair of consecutive exterior angles. Consecutive exterior angles would be two angles that are next to each other. And that would be something like angle G and angle H, and angle A and angle B. Those are the consecutive exterior angles, and these angles are supplementary. All right, and there's other options out there. There's alternate exteriors, and there are same side interiors that we need to kind of talk about those as well. Remember, alternate exterior angles are angle G and angle B. Angle G and angle B, those guys are congruent to each other, alternate exteriors. And then same side interiors, C and E are same side interiors, and those guys are supplementary to one another. So those are all the angle pairs that we can talk about. All right, to finish out this page, we got a little bit of some work to do. This one, they're telling me that the whole angle ABC is 102 degrees. We know these two things about both of these. They want me to find angle ABD, so this is the angle I'm trying to find. So first thing I know by angle addition postulate that I can add 3x plus 1 plus 4x minus 3 and set it equal to the total of 102. And if I do a little algebra here, I'm going to combine my like terms and get my numbers, add 2 across the equal sign. 7x will equal 104. And if I 104 divided by 7, it doesn't come out even. 104 divided by, make sure I get my numbers right, yep. 104 divided by 7 is about 14.9. All right, and so that if that's the case, if I'm trying to find angle ABD here, I'm going to put that number in for my x and solve it. And I'm just making sure that my signs are correct here. And so that would be 3 times 14.9 plus 1. And when I do that, I get a total of 45.6. All right, and that is the measure of angle ABD. All right, so point B lies on AC. AB is 19, AC is 39. What is the value of BC? So the best thing to do is draw a picture of this. So I'm going to draw a line, and then we'll label some points here. They don't tell me where B is, so B I'm going to put like right here. So A to B, B to C, and if I label what I've got, A to B is 19. The total distance from A to C is 39, so they want to know that distance right there, B to C. So you're setting up an algebra problem. I know by segment addition postulate that 19 plus x has to equal 39, and if I subtract 19 across the equal sign, x will equal 20. And so that means that BC is equal to 20. And if I add 20 and 19 together, I should get 39, which is the total distance. All right, and then the final one on this page talks about HF. The ray HF bisects EHG, and by bisecting, that would mean that this angle here is equal to that angle there, and so therefore I can set those guys equal to each other. That's how I know this is the key word here. So I know that 9x plus 3 needs to be equal to 13x minus 25, and if I solve this for x, I will get my x value, and so then I'm trying to find EHF, which is this top angle up here. That's the angle I want to find. So I will go ahead and solve this. So I'm going to subtract 9x, get my numbers on the same side. 3 equals 4x minus 25. Add 25 across the equal sign. That gets me 28 equals 4x. And if I divide by 4, that gives me x to equal 7. Well, x isn't the answer, but EHF has an x in it, which is right here. So 9 times 7 plus 3 is what we're looking for. So angle EHF is going to be 9 times 7 plus 3, which is 63 plus 3, or 66 degrees. So that is angle EHF. All right, well, this concludes the video for the first page of the review. I will continue on with this very, very soon.